We continue to monitor the evolving situation in the Middle East, where tensions remain elevated following several days of heightened military posture, diplomatic signaling, and widespread international attention. At this hour, there is still no official confirmation of large-scale escalation beyond what has already been reported by multiple international outlets. However, the pace of developments and the tone of public statements suggest that the situation remains fluid and highly sensitive. In recent days, regional airspace monitoring services have reported adjustments in flight paths near certain strategic corridors. While such adjustments are not uncommon during periods of instability, their frequency has drawn attention from analysts who specialize in aviation safety and regional risk assessment. At the same time, maritime tracking services have shown continued commercial shipping activities through key waterways, indicating that, as of now, global trade routes remain operational. There has been no confirmed closure of major international shipping lanes, though insurance risk premiums in some sectors are reportedly being reassessed. Military analysts emphasize that force readiness and actual engagement are two very different conditions. When tensions rise, armed forces often elevate alert levels, reposition assets, and conduct visible exercises. This action can serve multiple purposes: deterrence, reassurance to allies, and preparation for contingencies. However, such movement alone do not confirm imminent conflict. In the current environment, much of what is being observed could fall under strategic signaling rather than operational escalation. Diplomatic channels appear to remain active behind the scenes. While public rhetoric may seem firm, history shows that quiet communication often continue even during periods of visible tension. Direct military communication lines, sometimes referred to as deconfliction mechanisms, are designed precisely to prevent unintended incidents. There has been no verified report that such communication channels have been severed, which many experts interpret as a stabilizing factor. Another dimension of the situation involves domestic political dynamics within the countries involved. Leadership decisions during international crises are rarely made in isolation from external considerations. Public opinion, legislative oversight, economic pressures, and alliance commitments all influence the range of options available to policymakers. As a result, statements made in public forums may serve both an international audience and a domestic one. Energy markets continue to reflect cautious uncertainty rather than panic. Price fluctuations over the past several trading sessions indicate heightened sensitivity to geopolitical headlines, but not yet the kind of extreme volatility typically associated with major supply disruptions. Strategic petroleum reserves, diversified supply chains, and alternative export routes have altered the global energy landscape compared to previous decades. Nonetheless, even moderate instability in a strategically important region can influence investor behavior and risk calculations. Regional actors beyond the immediate parties remain carefully positioned. Several neighboring states have issued calls for restraint. Emphasizing the importance of stability, international organizations have reiterated the need for diplomatic engagement. The tone of these appeals underscore widespread recognition that even limited confrontation carries broader implications. Security analysts frequently highlight the concept of escalation management. In complex environments, the objective of each party may not be to dominate outright, but rather to demonstrate resolve without triggering uncontrollable consequences. This balancing act requires careful calibration of messaging, posture, and diplomatic outreach. It also depends on accurate interpretation of the other side's intentions, something that can be challenging amid fast-moving events and incomplete information. One of the most significant risks during periods like this is misinterpretation. A defensive maneuver might be perceived as offensive preparation. A public warning might be interpreted as an ultimatum. In a highly charged atmosphere, perception can shape reality. For this reason, transparency and communication often become as important as military capability itself. Information flows in the modern era move rapidly, sometimes outpacing verification. Images and videos circulating on social media require careful authentication. Independent verification organizations are working continuously to determine the origin and timing of digital content. Until such material is confirmed, it remains prudent to treat it cautiously. Responsible reporting depends on distinguishing between confirmed development and preliminary claims. At this stage, analysts generally outline three broad trajectories that could emerge. The first is controlled stabilization, in which tensions gradually ease following calibrated signaling. The second is limited, contained confrontation, marked by isolated incidents but not full-scale engagement. The third, less likely but still possible, involves broader regional involvement if miscalculations occur. It is important to emphasize that these are analytical frameworks, not predictions.